Hey y'all, it is your girl Tanisha Shanee, Miss Inspiration, here with a new episode of my mini-series, Dear Lord. Now, this mini-series has definitely been motivated and inspired by Netflix Tinder Swindler. And I will be actually doing multiple parts about the one person who has swindled me about their lifestyle. Now, I did not meet this person on Tinder or any dating apps. I actually met them on the street. So please stay tuned for the story of Keith. Keith is a guy that I met back in 2016, and trust me, you are definitely going to want to stick around to hear about this story because it will definitely amaze you of the things that people will lie to you about their life. Okay? So you thought the Tinder swindler was crazy? Because it was. I can't even play games. That was beyond crazy. All right, so stay tuned. I hope you enjoy. Be well, be blessed. Dear Lord, I'm really trying to not think about the past, but I feel as though with this whole Tinder swindler, it's giving me vibes about your boy, Keith. So in 2016, I met Keith as I was walking to the bus stop to go to work. Now, I would just put it like this. On the outside, Keith is fine as wine, okay? When I say nice body, beautiful smile, it was given definitely, in your mind, you're like, oh my gosh, is that gonna be my husband? But I quickly realized that's not the case. So just to sum it up, 2016, I met him and we only had one phone conversation. We never went on a date because of the phone conversation. Now, my issue with Keith was Keith had a really bad habit of never asking questions, but always drawing assumptions and conclusions. So one of the assumptions was like, where do you live? Who do you live with, right? And it wasn't those kind of questions. It was like, oh, so you live with your mother? No. You live with a roommate? No. So then I stopped him and I said, how about you just ask a question? Who do you live with? Like, what's your living situation? That is a question instead of sitting here just throwing out these random, ideas of what the situation is. I am a very clear, straight to the point person, right? Straight shooter. So let's just get to the point. So at that time, I was already starting to get turned off. But, again, Keith was putting all of this out there. I got this big, beautiful house in Brooklyn. I'm a healthcare professional. I have my own business, and so he was putting it on the table, which is beautiful, which is nice. However, it is your personality that was definitely the issue. So I prayed this prayer, and I'm going to share this, and I hope that you guys never do this because it's going to lead to part 2. At the end of that conversation, Keith and I just couldn't do it. The sarcastic Tanisha came out. I literally, I blacked on him. And I told him, and this is before, I really did some healing work. But I was like, look, first of all, I'm a homeowner. I was like, I have multiple degrees. I'm also a business owner. I've been featured in all these magazines because I try to stay humble. But some people don't allow you to remain humble. So I had to just put it out there like that. So in that conversation, and I asked God, I said, God, I do not ever want to meet this person again. I don't want to ever see this. I want them to be erased from my mind and my memory. That was my prayer. And I did. I did not remember his name. I said his face, anything. All I ever remembered was that conversation and how he made me feel. And boy, can I tell you, when you pray those kind of prayers, they're going to come up. So in part 2, I will definitely explain what happened. So when God wants to be funny, he's going to be funny. So in 2018, I'm working at this small business and I go outside to go get me something to eat. As I'm coming back in, someone knocks on the window. I'm looking like, who is this individual? But I just automatically assume they want information about the business. So I go and the guy is like, hey, I saw you crossing the street. I think you're beautiful. I would like to get to know you. Who are you? At this point, I'm looking crazy. I'm very insecure. I had gained weight. My hair, I had just became natural. So my hair was all over the place and I didn't know how to maintain it. So I was just like, let me put aside my insecurities. And here is a fine as wine, gorgeous looking man. Let me just take my chance. So the first thing I should have paid attention to was when I put my number into his phone, my name already came up. But I didn't pay attention to that because I just thought, cell phones are changing every day. Just maybe somewhere that just happened. And he had called me that evening and offered to drive me home. And I declined because we had just met. And then the second day he had called and I said, you know what, I'll give in and I'll let him take me home. So he did. And I remember when we were driving home, he was just like talking. And like just that feeling of like, I think I know this person, but I didn't say anything. I let it go. I said, maybe it's just like deja vu. So our first date came up. It was really nice, very low key, but definitely in my comfort zone. We went to go get smoothies and we had, taking a walk in the park. And it was like just really nice. Great to get to know him as a person. And I was just like really content with Keith. It wasn't until maybe like a week or two later, he's driving me home and he had made a comment and he was like, I think it was God's way of bringing us back together. And instantly I was like, oh my gosh, this is that dude. So I remember like, he was like, you didn't know who I was? And I said, no, like I prayed for you to go away. Like I prayed to not remember you. And he was very offended by it, but I was just honest, like, that first conversation, that only conversation that in 2016 was just a turnoff. Like he just wasn't my type, very condescending. Like I didn't want to be with someone like that. So I was like, with new beginnings, let's go in with this with an open mind, not holding on to what happened in the past. And baby, I should have listened to myself and I should have just continued to close that door. There was just little things about him that I just didn't like. He still doesn't know how to ask questions. He makes a lot of assumptions and he didn't listen to music. Like even when he worked out, when he drove, like it was just always pure silence. So like we had to talk and it was never an opportunity, a time for me to ever like share anything. So that's why I can honestly say Keith didn't know anything about me because Keith never gave me time or space to talk about Tanisha. So he didn't know about all the amazing and great things that I had accomplished in my life. And that was fine because I want people to make those assumptions to continue to show who they really are. And boy, did he do that. Sunday bald head, like fully bald, nothing else. I want to say like that Tuesday or Wednesday, we meet up again for Bible study. So when I walk in, I'm on the phone with my best friend and I'm like, his hair grew fast. What really annoyed me a little bit was because Keith always said, and he said it multiple times, I don't like women that wear weaves, that wear wigs. I don't like that. I want a woman that's natural, all this other stuff. But you turn around.